Sony PlayStation lives by the motto, if we can't control your software, then we simply won't make it anymore. What a bunch of dung peddlers. The way the gaming industry is going, there's going to be university courses on how to pirate games. Because I'm telling you, the quote of, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing, is spreading like wildfire. I'm seeing that everywhere. Let's keep it going. Hit the like button and subscribe, baby. Let's keep those subs going. We're gonna live stream very soon. You're not gonna want to miss it. Now, Sony is very quickly destroying themselves as every minute goes by. You know, it would be really hilarious if it wasn't so sad. Because if IGN, the Ignorant Gamers Network, if they're criticizing you, then you know you messed up. You up pretty badly. You know, I'm looking forward to the day when Sony starts selling us digital-only controllers. That's gonna happen. That's closer than you think. They're gonna tell you, just imagine that you're holding a DualSense controller. In like 10 to 15 years, you're not gonna own a mother thing. The next PlayStation is gonna be like what, $900 to $1,000 minimum, with like $80 to $100 game rentals because you don't own the games, remember? You're just licensing it for a certain period of time. And then you have to pay for another 15 bucks a month on PS Plus. It's quite simply the worst deal in gaming history. Tell me, Sony, why I would pay for your console that doesn't have physical games. I might as well just stick to my PC. At least they have a variety of game fronts and platforms. Now, you know, the sad reality is I remember when they said that digital copies were supposed to be cheaper because the cost of manufacturing and distribution is like literally zero. You know, we won't need those brick and mortar stores anymore. We can make digital games a lot cheaper. What a load of bullshit. Pepperidge Farm remembers that nonsense. I guess they thought we forgot about that. Well, we didn't, because the prices are still going up. Even though it's digital, Sony. I mean, even slop like GTA 6 that's about to come out, and we haven't seen a single frame of gameplay. But yet we're still expected to pay $100. I mean, it's a digital game with no physical copy whatsoever. I mean, God, imagine if we lived in a world that wasn't ran by out-of-touch CEOs. This stuff wouldn't be happening. So yeah, I'm 100% fine with letting PlayStation go bankrupt because Sony is basically an American company now. Sony itself might be a Japanese company, but PlayStation, you know, Sony Interactive Entertainment, that entity is mostly operated out of California, the land of the hippies who cup their own farts all day. Yeah, and it shows, doesn't it, that they're from California with the stuff that they're coming out. You know, I guess those 2 atomic bombs didn't help their IQ department. Oh, whoa, is that too far? I'm only joking. Now, Sony is determined to go down you'll own nothing and be happy strategy. Even as their live service games flop and cost them billions. And even as their consoles lose appeal to the consumer as every waking day goes by. You know, the thing is, Sony has more than a communication problem. We're gonna get to this in a second. I mean, I thought Nintendo had their head so far up their ass. I mean, they could taste their own toothpaste at this point. Speaking of Nintendo, on a side note, one of the funnier things I saw was Nintendo fanboys like this, saying stuff like, oh my god, are you seeing this? People are now gonna choose Nintendo over Sony. Sony wants to give you no physical games. We at least get a game key card. You're gonna buy a Switch 2 now, aren't you? Shut the hell up, because the first thing you need to do is stop dressing like a teenager. Is it just me, or are these Nintendo fanboys some of the weirdest individuals ever? Constantly trying to relive their younger years, right from the way they dress to their obsession with Mario and Luigi and Zelda. Listen, I like Mario and Zelda like everybody else, but I'm not a dweeb like this. Now, we all know Nintendo and Sony are both scumbags. It's not gonna be a surprise when Nintendo throws those game keycards out the window for the next Switch. You know, the Switch 3. Anyway, listen, Sony's been having a hard time lately, ever since announcing that they are no longer doing physical games. Gamers have not been relenting, and rightfully so. You love to see it. And for about a week, from July 1st when they made the announcement to July 7th, they didn't say a word. Until yesterday, they finally broke their silence by completely ignoring the elephant in the room. They broke their silence by showing us a fight stick. Yeah, Sony's absolutely taking no responsibility for the decisions they're clearly making. That is funny. PlayStation says on July 7, switch out the leather gates with ease with the Flex Strike wireless stick. Oh my god, this is a middle finger to everybody, Sony. Are you ready to get ratioed from now until the end of time until you address this? I don't know how the social media guy from Sony hasn't been fired yet, because it's crazy how detached Sony is from their customer base. All they care about is how much money they can squeeze from every one of their dents. It's not working because the replies to this tweet are people basically saying, I'm completely abandoning my PlayStation because if I can't own my games, I might as well buy them on Steam where they are cheaper and less likely to disappear. That is the common consensus in the comment section. Every tweet since this one has been getting ratioed with gamers like crazy, which is hilarious to see because all I can see at the PR department at Sony is wondering if this is gonna die down. It's never gonna die down, Sony. But the truth is, ratioing them on X is fine, but they only hear one message, and that's money. Vote with your dollar. It's the best way to enact change. And we all know that gamers are notoriously all bark and no bite, because I doubt this is gonna stop anyone from getting a PS6 or buying GTA 6 digitally when it comes out. By the way, I need to know, what is this obsession with live service games? They said in their original PR statement that they're trying to revitalize the live service game genre. Live service has completely the gaming industry. They truly never learn, do they? Because live service is why we are where we are. The success rate for them is like 1%. They require constant upkeep and employees need to be paid. Compared to single player games, the risk-reward ratio isn't even comparable. You would think people at Sony would know this, but like I said, they have out-of-touch people working there. Because if they looked at the fact that 9 out of like 10 of their live service games have died out of the gate, they would look at that and say, you know what, maybe we should stop making live service games. They need to keep this schlop, this grift going. Anyway, let's read this article. They now wait for the storm to pass. Yeah, that's not happening. PS5 owners are cancelling the PlayStation Plus subscribers to protest. Sony killing disc, but analysts say it won't make any difference. PS5 owners are cancelling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions in protest at Sony's controversial decision to stop releasing games on physical discs. But the gesture will not force the console maker to change its mind, analysts say. I actually agree with this article because things aren't gonna change. People are gonna get the PS6 when it comes out. They don't want to miss out on that FOMO, even though they could just stick with the PS5 and get the exact same experience. Sony has drawn huge amounts of online criticism from PlayStation owners upset at the move to an all-digital future for all PS5 games launched from January 2028 onwards, something it's almost certain to also continue on the PS6. Sony is basically telling you, their message is, don't buy anything from us because you never know when we might take it away. That should tell you something right there. Everybody should collectively not buy the next PlayStation console if they want things to change. A high-profile petition called on Sony to reconsider its decision has now reached over 200,000 signatures in the past few days. PS5 users have taken to social media to share screenshots of cancelled PS Plus subscriptions. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Get the word out. Start voting with your wallets. If 50% of the people refunded their GTA 6 pre-orders, not only would this problem go away overnight, you would also be getting GTA 6 on Blu-ray discs at launch. You all have the power. It's a win for everybody. But we all know that's not going to happen. Anyway, speaking to IGN, Dr. Serkan Toto, CEO of Japanese game industry consultancy firm Katan Games, suggested that even if 500,000 people cancelled their PlayStation Plus subscriptions in protest, it would just be a drop in the ocean for Sony, which is not going to change its mind. You know what? It's simple. Don't buy any more new consoles. Don't buy new games or digital games. Buy retro and play your backlog instead. That's your only way of sticking it to Sony. Money talks in situations like this. If they want to play hardball with us, we can do it as consumers as well. And support your local game stores if you can. And on that bombshell, let me know in the comments what you think. Manix out.